I think it's important to have farmers like Mr. Chuck here because with the influx of people that we've had from other areas, it continues a tradition that they value the heritage over profit.
Our way of life is simple, it's hard, but I was born in it. I think I was riding a horse before I could walk. My name is Charles Cowart. The name of our ranch is Double C. I grew up on a horse. Back my teenage years with my granddad, we were running about 1,500 head of cattle, and it was full time. You sat in the saddle 5 days a week. We run basically 550 now, so we don't do near the horse riding that we did 20, 25 years ago.
Chuck Cowart, having been a generational farmer, what we see here is a long-term commitment to environmental stewardship, a generational commitment, which we know he's going to perpetuate. And through his networking and partnering with UF-IFAS and other agencies like NRCS, he's implementing things beyond what the BMP program really dictates.
We work with the USDA and we're affiliated with NRCS, and main thing that we do is our burn program. That has extensive benefits for the land and for surrounding areas, but we're doing several other projects, creating fire lines and establishing boundaries, and we've tapped into a lot of really interesting benefits from the government and plus opportunities to help us to pay for things.
Well, I hate to, say the same speaking points, but I mean, people really have no idea where their food comes from. And it's important for Farm Bureau to educate people on that. And when people drive by and see the beauty of what Chuck is doing out here, people understand that without farms, we're right on the verge of being a third world country if we can't provide for ourselves and sustain that into the future. It's vital.
I appreciate the nomination. I think there's a lot of people that need the nomination just as well as I do, because I think they're just as good stewards and caretakers of the land as possible can be. I reckon I was just fortunate enough to get picked. I mean, I'm glad for it. I'm glad I can get the exposure out, that maybe the CARES deal needs, maybe the agriculture community needs. Or for that fact, maybe the non-agricultural community. The more that we get involved with them, the more they get involved with us and figure out, hey, we're not the bad guy here, I think it's an honor, Like I say, I grew up a cowboy, I didn't ride in off the silver screen.
It's very important to have farmers like John William. We're not seeing the young farmer come back or stay on the farm or the ranch these days. And to have young farmers like John William continue that tradition, keep that farm going and be a part of the community, giving back to the community through farming and producing a wholesome product, it's just important that we have a young farmer like John William staying on the farm and continuing that tradition.
I'm John Revels with Crescent Lake Farms. We've been here for 7 years. This is going into our 8th season. So we grow table stock potatoes. We grow corn as a secondary crop in our off season. My whole family has farmed for about 60 years. My grandfather farmed, my dad still farms at our home farm in Hastings with my little brother. So we've come up with a few different things to help with our BMPs. Me and my father designed a fertilizer bander applicator to more precisely apply our fertilizer directly where we need it to keep it out of our irrigation ditches. It allows us to do a percentage less fertilizer usage on our dry and our liquid. We were the first ones to design the dry applicator machine, and water management got involved when they saw our design and thought it was great. Pretty much everyone uses the same kind of bander applicator. So I'm most proud of being able to continue on generation after generation. We've had to diversify within ourselves, growing different crops in different types of ways, and just happy to be able to be a third generation to be able to do that and hopefully keep going for my children.
John William Revels was selected because he does a great job at following BMPs. He's enrolled in BMPs. He's helping preserve his family's farm for generations to come.
So we're trying to do the best thing for the land. We'd like my children and my children's children to be able to still farm, and so we want to take care of the land, keeping our fertilizer out of the river, and it's cost effective, but also is better for the environment. We're proud to be nominated for the Farm Cares Award this year. I'm actually a secretary for our division here in Putnam St. John's with Farm Bureau. It's something that I have passion in and devote a lot of time to.
Our granddad said that your farm and your land is only as good as what you are and what you put into it, and we put our whole heart and best into a crop.
It's important to have farmers like Richard Wells in our community. Not only is he providing jobs, we talked about their diversification, the green beans, potatoes, they're employing people. There's jobs to be had at their farm. Also, you look at him being on the farm and continuing that tradition that's been in their family for years. He's keeping that alive.
My name is Richard Wells Jr. from Richard Wells Jr. Farms, located in St. Johns County, third generation potato grower. The farm was started in 1959 by my grandfather. He started with 75 acres and we've grown to over 850 acres of potatoes now. We also grow around 400 acres of green beans, 200 acres in the spring and 200 acres in the fall. It's a whole family operation here. My wife Cheyenne, she works in our office and takes care of all the record keeping and books. My son Logan is graduated school now and he's out here with me full time. I have two other children that are still in school, but their plans are to be a part of the farm.
The heart of the BMP program is protecting and conserving water. We're concerned about leaching of nutrients as well as nutrients moving with erosion. If you're having high erosion, you're losing phosphorus from the field. If we have leaching rain events and they're over-fertilizing, that can be leached into our groundwater, as well as we do a lot of cost-share projects to retrofit old irrigation systems for more precision application of irrigation water, which is reducing their need for water.
Some of the best management practices we put into place, we did some soil moisture sensors, which are located right in the row where the potatoes are grown and give us real-time data on our moisture so we can regulate the water to turn the wells on and off a lot more efficient than we could when we didn't have a sensor telling us. The sensors also manage the uptake of nitrogen so we can monitor the nitrogen intake of the plants and also the moisture. It impacts our water usage. We're able to regulate it really good, and it also impacts our usage of fertilizer.
We nominated Richard Wells for this award. You take a look at Richard Wells and they're farming in a very crucial part that's really relying on BMPs. They're right there next to the St. Johns River, and they do a great job of protecting the St. Johns River coming off their farm. He's a generational farmer. He has kids coming back to the farm. He's diversified green beans and potatoes, and he's keeping the farm alive for the next generation to come.
This is the only job I've ever had, and it's something I love. Since I was about 5 years old, probably, that I knew that this is what I wanted to do, so my whole life put into being a farmer. It really means a lot to be nominated for this award, to see that other people recognize the hard work that we put into implementing these best management practices, and we can save on our inputs and plus still provide a quality product. But it really means a lot to be nominated for an award by other local people.